All right, hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda back here once again on the Outlast trials. And in this video, we are going to be continuing my coverage of weekly therapy number 40, which is Exit Rush here on the Psychosurgery difficulty. We're on trial number 5 for this one, which is Shut Down the Factory. And it can obviously be a trial that can have issues with Exit Rush, especially if you do the objectives in the wrong order. Of course, Exit Rush being that main variator for the weekly, it's what we're dealing with here, where when you finish the final objective for the trial, the counter will start for the shuttle to arrive. And then when the shuttle does arrive, you only have 35 seconds to get out. So you got to be quick and you got to be prepared. So on this one, of course, although we usually do A, B, C, D in that order in terms of shutting down, you definitely want to make sure you pay attention and do it in this case. Increase threat 2, Psychosurgery, those other two variators. I'm rocking the jammer this time around to maybe get rid of some of those pesky alarm doors, prevent the enemies from spawning, because on this trial in particular, they do stay around forever, the additional enemies. And then we've got the combo of Short Circuit and Hide and Restore, so I can showcase that it actually does work. And then also Boosted, because if we get the battery booster, that means we have a free rig recharge, although I would still prefer the Stamina Booster, and then Health Booster is just Troll. Of course, we tried using this combo on last week's weekly, which was Limited Rig, and it doesn't work on there, but it will work in this case because we have our cooldown back as normal. And let's see how we can do here in this trial. Of course, we did get the health booster, so this is, this is why I just hate boosted. I can't win. I try and use it in this best possible case, and I still get screwed. But yeah, we're gonna do this, and then I think probably we're best off going over here and doing this. You'll see kind of a good camera angle for that. The giant, of course, did try to grab us under the door there. And I would say this alarm door right here is the highest value one to use the jammer on, so I'll just do it immediately because this one will spawn an additional giant, and it's here in the final section where you need to lift the garage and things can get pretty sticky in that regard. Now, I would say that, as I mentioned before, I think in last week's weekly, generally, if you're going to even use Short Circuit, you're probably going to want to mostly stick to using it with Stun or Blind, the ones that are a bit more offensively applicable, since the majority of the time, especially with Barricade and X-Ray, the cooldown won't be that big of a deal. You'll be able to just wait it out with those other rigs, but with Stun and Blind, of course, their cooldowns are much longer, and you are going to need to wait a much longer time. So getting those percentage-based cooldown reductions from Short Circuit can be much more beneficial. I do still personally think it would be nice to have a buff to the amp to increase the numbers a little bit, but it can still be good to use. And of course, again, incentivizes you to disarm door traps, which is always fun. So now that we have two small batteries, we can hop in a locker, and using both of these will restore our rig cooldown by 40%, I believe. So it should get us pretty close to full. Yeah, as you can see, we are going to get it back right now. And the way it works, I did talk about this last week, but if you don't know, the way it works is when you jump into a hiding spot with Hide and Restore, your current rig cooldown gets cut in half. And then when you get out of the hiding spot, it gets doubled. So having the batteries available and using them while in the hiding spot basically gives you that percentage, but on the lower amount of cooldown. So when it gets doubled when you get out, you basically have gotten double the effect of the percentage amount, if that makes any sense. But do not forget down below the video, guys, to smash the like button. Of course, don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't already, so that I could demonstrate the like button smash for you guys, as that hasn't always been possible in this weekly so far, with Exit Rush taking away the button at the end. But yeah, that would help me out so much. And of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. You don't want to miss out on any of the Outlast Trials content we got coming in the near future. As we move on to Sector D here, I do have a battery. We disabled that alarm door, but not super worth it to... okay. Not super worth it to jump in just for this one battery. It won't make a big difference on our cooldown coming up like right now. if that makes any sense. I did see that obviously in there. We have the thing we need to hit, or the switches we need to flip for Sector C. We can hit the B button here, and since the garage is right here, it's not too big of a deal to use it. Particularly in solo, using the garage is not too bad. Okay, yeah, this guy is coming through here. He's going to try and grab underneath. I love that they added an animation to that, even if you're not there. That's cool. Yeah, obviously using the garage is much quicker in solo, and it's not as bad, but the jammer definitely would help even more in teams where people definitely use the doors a lot more often, because the garage door opening is far, far slower when you're in a group as opposed to solo. And we can get this first set done. And, ooh, that was close. I do believe you can only get one of the two downstairs. In this... Oh, God. I was like, why do I hear Henrietta? It's because she's right there, guys. Now, thankfully, since we did use the garage to get into here, we can actually despawn Henrietta. Oh, never mind. Gooseberry has spotted me. If you leave certain alarm doors closed, you can despawn Henrietta by going through the garages. Honestly, I can just go through the spawn garage here if the giant's not nearby. Yeah, we can just do this. Don't want to have to deal with Henrietta if we can avoid it, and it's always nice to know places where you can despawn her. This trial has so many of them, of course. As long as you don't open every single alarm door, you can use any sector transition to despawn her with the garage. So definitely take advantage of that. I hear her, but I think she's going upstairs to leave. Yeah, we can kind of see her through the foggy glass, so we can open this back up and get back inside. We just need to finish off Sector C upstairs, and I don't know if I haven't done any of Sector D yet, which the first one is right here. Oh, come on. We've got more than enough posters done on this one to be all set there. And hey, we can grab another battery potentially. Honestly, at this point, at the point we're at in the trial, probably not really worth it to worry too much about getting more batteries. Not going to get too much more use out of my rig, but we were at least able to showcase the working synergy of hide and restore and short circuit. So definitely something you can use, and you know what? We can use it right here. But of course, Smash also very good on this trial because there's these co-op doors up here, which can be very nice to just smash in. That lets you avoid both the garages and the alarm doors. So, you know, if you'd prefer that route, of course, that's also available to you. You can hit the button, and then, of course, we already have this thing open, and we just need to go upstairs, I think, for the final one. I'll just use this battery since we're probably not going to be getting enough to fully recharge the rig. We gotta... sad we have to break this down, but we can take the back stairwell, hopefully, to get around, unless there's an annoying padlock right here. Okay, nice. Choose the back stairwell to go around, and that honestly works out well for us, because the giant will be going up there, and we can hopefully just hit the button and open the garage to leave, although I'm not sure what that guy's doing. Let's shut down the factory here and see. Now, this trial has a decent amount of delay, but we did shut down the factory, and now the shuttle's going to start coming. So if you're in a sticky situation and aren't able to easily open the garage and get out, you could have issues. But as you saw, a bit of a delay before the exit the trial objective comes up. And when the exit the trial objective comes up is when the shuttle starts its trip towards the facility, or towards the trial or whatever. So there it is. We got out of there. That seemed a little glitchy, but turned out okay. And yeah, I believe that was a flawless, so we will take that for sure. And we did get our poster from completing 5 trials of the weekly as well. A plus 8 minutes, 7 seconds, shut down the factory, exit rush, psychosurgery here. We'll definitely take that. And yes, indeed, a solid, flawless completion. So yeah, definitely a good synergy to be aware of and potentially make use of. Again, in my opinion, probably more inclined to use that with something like Sun or Blind, especially if you're in a team and you have someone who's using the jammer that can provide you with batteries from locked containers, as well as those rig rechargers that come inside those as well. Then having this combo becomes even more valuable. It would only take 2 large batteries to get your rig back completely with short circuit plus hide and restore. So yeah, I think it's cool that the amps have synergy. Not a lot of amps do have direct synergy like that, so I definitely would recommend trying it out if you haven't in the past. But that's going to be it for this one, you guys. Hope you all did enjoy it. Of course, big shout out to all my channel members. Names are going to be popping up on the screen here. If you want to support the channel, check out the join button down below. Shout out to my Twitch subs as well. Follow me on Twitch, link in the description. You can also join the Discord down there if you're interested in joining the community, chatting with folks and whatnot. We have a good time in there, so feel free to hop in if you're interested. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next trial, which will be the final MK challenge in this weekly, and that's going to be Punish the Miscreants. So we'll get over to the fun park, and I'll see you guys there. All right, peace out.